Ever since I was a young owl, I bounced the silver ball from Manchu down to Texas. I must have played them all, but rocket is my one dream. I long to just cut loose. If I can tap my Peggle skills, Zen solos I'll produce.
Right, hair, go.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, I said hold the thought.
Dad, I was distracted.
I was supposed to do the reading while you held the thought.
Yeah, well, you've been doing a lot of reading and a lot of talking.
Yeah. Oh, it's so fast on this. I'm used to the iPhone version where clearly my processor is considerably more powerful than that Peggle was written for originally. And yeah, it legitimately takes... I'm sure it's a software issue, not a hardware one, because recent iPhones have fairly good processors, not on the order of my computer, but not much worse. But certainly, the Zen Shot takes 5 to 10 seconds to execute, depending on how... Like, it goes boing, and then you hold for ages. And then
it's just trying to torture you because you deserve it.
Why? Because I distracted you from your comment about hairdressing. So, right, let's retrace the conversation. So I was saying hairdressing is usually a shortish affair for me, but for my ex it was...
Oh yeah, like an hour and a half. Well, that's the thing. I don't particularly like my hair being washed. I don't like people touching me.
I thought that was an integral part of the female haircut, was having it like washed and shit.
It's not necessary.
No, but I thought it was still a part nonetheless. The whole thing's a weird bloody ritual.
Because because you go and like they wash your hair and then they blow dry it all and they style it how they want to do it and then they cut it and then they style it again and then they cut it and they style it again and then they send you off on your way looking like some plastic model. So I didn't
strong opinions about having your haircuts bright much.
Reasonably accurate. They tend to do it how they think you will look nice, and I suit short blonde hair. I don't like short blonde hair. I have long red hair.
I was going to say I can't picture you blonde.
I look nice blonde. There's no other word for it. I look nice. I look generically pretty. I look kind of just a bit like an ugly Barbie, but that doesn't sound nice. But do you know what I mean?
No, but I'll take your word for it.
I look ordinary and normal, and I could fit in. I could wear reasonably fashionable clothes and just fit in as a normal person.
Fair.
And I'm not.
It's interesting that you say about.
Oh my god! Jesus!
That was cool.
You don't deserve that.
But yeah, it's interesting that you say about like they style it how they want, because this time when I was getting my haircut, your man asked me, he was saying like, oh, how much do you want off, that kind of thing. I was like, this kind of thing. He's like, okay, how do you normally wear your hair? And I was like, I have fucking no idea how to answer that because I've just never thought about this. Like, I have it short and I just kind of woof it. Oh, I don't fucking know. I've never paid attention to that, and a hairdresser has never asked me that because they've just gone and done their thing. But I wonder now that they're doing what you say, that they are styling it how they think it should be without asking. And it was only when I was asked, I was like, actually, yeah, that isn't something I would normally think about with a hairdresser. It's quite interesting.
See, I'd usually start, again, it's been many, many years, but I'd usually start with, I'm not, the pretty girl. I don't do my hair. I don't do X and Y. I want something that I can roll out of bed, drag a brush through if I have to, and out the door. I'll tie it up if need be, if I'm doing something, but otherwise it's down and it's sort of curly and it just sort of does its own thing. And that's what I want from a haircut.
This must be a really interesting conversation because the majority of the viewers have no idea what we look like.
They definitely ascertained I have red hair. And
yeah, I mean, but right, this is back to my thing of if I had a superpower, like high on my list would be to see other people's mental images. This would be a case where I would be fucking fascinated to know what people are picturing that you and I look like from these descriptions. Anyway, continue.
Well, bearing in mind, my sisters referred to my hair as being like Hagrid's hair. I think that's overselling it. My hair's not that cool. It's definitely like kind of a limp Hagrid. More control.
If Hagrid was fucking grew up in the punk era, maybe.
Yeah, okay, at the moment it's asymmetrical and it's quite short, but again, that's because I donated it to charity. So, hairdressers have always been problematic, and yeah, every time I've gone to see a hairdresser that I can remember, I've said, I'm looking for X, I'm looking for a trim because I'm growing it, or I'm looking for a little bit of style because people have told me I look like a bushwoman.
Dude, go to a gents hairdresser, seriously.
Actually, that's the funny part of this story.
Oh.
So, I chopped all my hair off. I did it with kitchen scissors with my friend filming it. Because I wanted to make it for comedy so that people could watch it. I can't watch it back because there's a bit where there's a bit missing. And I do a little squeak where my soul dies because I love long hair. I'm really glad I did it, but I do miss it.
Can I see that video? I've never seen it.
It's on Facebook, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That sounds quite... I want to say amusing, but that makes it sound like I'm laughing at your pain, which I'm not. But
no,
your pain is funny, but not in that case.
Yeah, no, I did it willingly, and I'm glad I did it. And I uploaded it to Facebook myself. It was my choice. I have no problem with people watching it. I can't, because there's just this one moment where I've missed a little bit, and I have to go back to it, and I'm just like, oh, and it's just, oh, it's awful.
Oh, fuck me. That was incredible.
Sure.
Shit, but incredible. Not that I threaded the noodle twice in a row.
Yeah. But yeah, every time I've been to the hairdresser, I've been like, I'm looking for X. And they've been, oh yeah. And we've had a good conversation about it, and they've been like, yeah, I'll do X. And then they do complete opposite. And I end up looking like this weird plastic Barbie doll thing, and I just don't like it. And then the most recent one, when I chopped all my hair off, I went into her and I was like, look, 3 of my managers have told me I have to do something about my hair because it looks like I did it myself, which I did. Because I'm not used to cutting short hair. And your one, she was like, okay, I'm thinking about basically a nice little bob thing, a bit stylized. I'm just like, honestly, I won't look after it. I condition my hair with nice conditioner, but that's it. And I'm not going to spend every morning making it look nice. She's like, all right, fine. And she had kind of wavy hair, and she was going for this nice boho thing, and she seemed to absolutely get it. And she was like, yeah, do you know what, fine, if we're going to go for, you've got kind of curly hair, and we're going to let it go a little loose, and I'm going to go for like this messy pixie long at one end bit. And I was like, yes, that. And we agreed on this. And she was absolutely with me. And then she gave me the, I need to speak to a manager haircut.
Oh, I know what you mean, yeah.
And it was so horrifying. And I was just like, eh. So I wouldn't let her wash my hair, because she cut it first, and then she was going to wash it and then sort of check the edges. And I was just like, I have to go, goodbye. And I walked out, and I was so horrified, and I thought about doing it myself, and I was like, I can't see the back, I can't trust it. So I went to a unisex barber's. And I was like, I've been to see a woman, she's done this to me, this is not me. And I sort of explained what I was looking for.
The bad woman hurt me.
The bad woman hurt me. And I think it was a young lad who I was talking to, was like, absolutely, I know exactly what to do. And he passed me off to someone else, and they fixed it in like 2 minutes, and they just made it just a bit more, less plastic.
The interesting thing of this reminds me of comments you made, so...
Sorry.
So I'm basically a terrible narcissistic bastard. So currently hanging above my desk I'm looking at it right now, is a portrait of me.
Yes.
Which sounds, it's pretty shitey anyway, but it sounds even worse. So I'm like, above my desk I have a portrait of me. But I do. It was a 21st present from my parents. I was like, well, originally I wanted to get an oil painting done. Turns out they're really expensive.
Yeah. Who
would have guessed? But I got I think it's like charcoal on paper is what it actually is. I'm not sure.
Not just charcoal, it's also chalk.
But it's black and white kind of relief thing. But essentially, everyone has agreed when they see it looks fairly much like me. And the sprite mostly agrees. But you made a similar comment if you said what he's done is made me probably what his image of traditionally attractive rather than how I actually look. And it's interesting, I always think that you've said that with that, and that sounds similar to your point about the haircut, of they've seen your hair and thought, this is what would make someone who looks like this look attractive, and they may have to some extent been right, but it's not you. And it's a similar comment to what you said about the...
No, she definitely made me look awful.
Okay, but you know what I mean, though.
She made me look Claire was about 20 years older, and...
Right, you know what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're trying to say, though, yeah, fair. And... You see, that's the thing. You look more classically handsome in this picture, and there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't not look like you or anything. It just, I don't know. On the times when you do look very much like that picture, you also have something more to you. So it's like he's.
This is going to be now even more surreal for the people who don't know what we look like.
Anyone who's had like a professional photograph taken or anything like that.
I think it's less so for a photograph. I suppose you can.
Yes and no. I got given an underwear photo shoot for a birthday a little while ago, and I went to see the woman, and she was really fab. Right from the beginning, the woman doing the makeup was like, okay, yeah, we like kind of natural looking, great, and she made me look natural but dolled up natural, and that's an odd thing to say, but I didn't look plastic. I definitely still looked like me, and I looked like a much prettier version of me, and it was like, do you know what, fair, I like this.
It reminds me, a friend of mine had like a kind of photo shoot thing for 20-something. And like, she looks pretty decent in all the photos from it, but it somehow doesn't look like her because they've like, the kind of makeup they've done on it, the way they've done her hair, it looks like...
Model her.
Yeah, it looks kind of like, as you say, like traditionally pretty, but doesn't look right. I'm like, this person is relatively attractive, but I don't feel like I immediately recognise them.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I went to see, as I say, the makeup girl who did it really well, and then the photographer's like, okay, so tell me about some icons you think are pretty, tell me what's your favourite feature about yourself, all this stuff. And we went through, like, a good few minutes talking about this.
I always wonder about how much of that stuff actually does affect the final product, because, like, I say, when I was sitting for this, he was like, tell me a bit about yourself, what you're into, and that kind of thing. It's like, is that just literally making small talk, or is that feeding into the finished product? You know what I mean?
I think it's meant to feed into the finished product, but I don't think it necessarily does.
Yeah.
Because, as I say, you look a bit like James Dean in that. And there's nothing wrong with it.
I was say, the thing is, yeah, like, that's not a bad... I might look like James Dean. I'll take that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it, but... I don't know.
But you're the only one who said there's some way in which it doesn't look like me. Everyone else is like, actually, that's a really good likeness, which is interesting.
I guess, yeah, for me, it's missing out on the thing that makes you great.
Oh. I think we're done with... Oh no, still got one more level of Master Who. So who the fuck's the 11th one? I'm sure there are only...
I don't know.
I'm sure there are only 10 stages and then the bonus one's in the last one.
Well, maybe there's another one in this one. I think there is, but...
Who?
A new one.
Yeah, but who?
Do you know how you find out? Shut up and get
You've played this before, fuck
I mean, I have, but memory. Besides, I'm talking about the photo shoot.
Well, keep going then.
No, you keep interrupting.
Don't let some fucker interrupt you. Get
what am I going to do? Start punching you? That's tempting.
I mean, yes, that seems exactly like the kind of thing you'd do. And it would probably work.
Nah, I'm not very violent.
Go ahead.
So, yeah, I went to see the photographer, did the whole chat, we did a few photo shoots things. I ended up going back to look at the photos. It also included Photoshop, and I was like, you are not Photoshopping me. You are not messing. I have no problem with you doing a bit of trickery with lighting.
So what if they're doing just like colour balance or exposure or something like that?
Again, no, that's fine, but I was like, you're not.
Oh, shit!
It came with a full, like, touch-up, a Photoshop touch-up to make you look better.
Fair.
And I was like, you're not doing that. I'm sorry. I don't care if I look like a flabby, rolly whale thing. If that's who I am, fine. Do what you can with, a bit of lighting maybe, but you're not changing that much.
Fuck me.
And she knew that. She got it. She was like, cool, okay. And I told her before we start the photo shoot, because I didn't want her to be like thinking, this is perfect, but I'll just suck in her belly a bit, or this is great, but I'll just give her a bit more of an ass. I didn't want that to happen. So she knew that. And the worst thing is, she got a couple of really nice photos, but they're all either where I'm looking away, so I just look like this passive doll type, which is not me. We sort of settled on a Hedy Lamour kind of sassy thing. And some of them were great, but then they were shot really badly, so like, I like my legs, they're my favourite feature. And she cut those out. So you got this beautiful picture of this curled hair leaning all back, and then this beautiful chaise lounge thing, and a bit of
chaise long, isn't it?
Chaise long, and this beautiful curtain, and then there was me, but I was cut off at like the knee, and it looked uncomfortable and like I was framed wrong.
Maybe she just thought you'd look better as an amputee.
It's not okay.
Probably not.
And it just felt like, again, she'd completely misunderstood what we'd said. So I ended up with this one where I'm sort of looking down, I'm looking very passive, I'm very doll-like. But it's a nice enough photo, and my sister likes it because she's like, oh my god, you look like a real, female. I was like, fuck you. That's probably selling myself short. But whenever...
That's probably a paraphrasing of what your sister said.
She did say I look very much like a model, I look lovely.
Yeah, looking like a model versus you look like a real female.
It's more just, in my defense, again, they live in a different country and I travel by public transport, so I tend to take practical clothes. And there's a lot of kids and there's lots of walking around, that kind of stuff. I don't take clothes that are particularly flattering. I take clothes that are comfortable to lounge around in. So, yeah, actually, my sisters came to visit me in Glasgow. No.
I'm not going to make this.
No, you're not. Loser. And they were astounded that I had nice clothes. And I was just like, guys, I'm not travelling to see you. I have a whole wardrobe of nice clothes.
I can see that.
So that's where the you look like a real girl came from, was, more precisely, I look like a, decent trying female type thing. Oh, you were robbed.
That was a pretty good Zen ball all in all. Fuck.
Oh, I thought that was going to catch.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not against your photo. It's the painting, the chalk drawing. It's skilled, it's nice. I have nothing against it. It wouldn't be my kind of top description of what you look like or your most flattering picture. But again, I look for what shows you as you are, rather
No.
than you what you...
Wait till my 30th when I plan on being rich and affording an oil painting where I look like fucking Napoleon. I want one of those ones where like my hands tucked into the pocket of my jacket and everything like that. You know the style.
Would that be in a morning dress outfit?
No.
Oh. What outfit would that be in?
I don't know. Fucking... Well, I mean, if I was going for the Napoleon look, it would be the military dress kind of thing, so some kind of red, double-breasted high affair.
See, I can imagine you in your military uniform. I can imagine you in a double-breasted jacket, but not in military one.
You do know the classic photos of Napoleon
I know,
I'm
yes.
alluding to, yeah.
Yes.
Right. So you know the photo of Nick Cage I have?
Yes.
Where he's in the military uniform that
Yes.
isn't actually a photo of Nick Cage, it's a Photoshop of Nick Cage as a... I'll put a photo of it up now, it's glorious. As a kind of turn-of-the-century Tsar. I go for that.
Okay.
My God, it was like 4 years ago, so I was like, what, early 20s before I realised the link between Caesar, Kaiser, and Tsar all being the same thing.
To be fair, it wasn't until you told me about your friend whose
Who's what?
surname is...
Oh, Decatur.
Decatur, yeah.
I mean, well, yeah, he's very insistent that I often translate that as king, and he's like, no, it's emperor, and he's very certain on that. But if it comes from Caesar, it is emperor, which is obviously a rank above king. Emperor, it's...
Has an empire.
Yeah, and it's traditionally king of kings,
Yes.
because that's the definition of empire is multiple kingdoms, which therefore, yeah, makes you what the Greeks would have called Agamemnon, which means king of kings. Which was also the title of a specific person.
Anyone who's a
during the-
Friends reference, do you remember the Agamemnon coma patient?
I hate Friends, and you know it.
You don't hate it, you just don't care for it.
It's just not funny.
I mean,
It's not.
lots of people find it funny.
It was funny in the 90s. I don't think it's aged well.
Maybe that's the problem.
I think if you watched it fresh, now, you'd think it was wank. It's like the fucking Emoji Movie of the 90s. Oh, just
Oh,
made
I
it.
thought you were going to miss that.
Oh!